Okay, hello students, how are you? I hope you're well, and we'll go through chapter 6 today. Chapter 6 is about elasticity. Okay, we'll learn about what is elasticity and why it's needed and everything else. But first of all, from chapter 3, if you remember it correctly, what is law of demand? What is law of demand? So law of demand said us that if price increases, our quantity demanded will, what do you think, increase or decrease? Decrease, right? Because there is a negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. So law of demand said if price increase, quantity demand decrease. If price decreases, quantity demanded will increase, right? Now that's up to chapter 3. But what it will be if we understand that how much our quantity demanded will increase because of a change in our price. We don't know that. Chapter 3 doesn't tell us anything about how much. They tell us that if price increases, quantity demanded decreases. But we don't know from chapter 3 that how much our quantity demanded will decrease if there is a increase in the price. Elasticity will do that. Elasticity will exactly tell us how much the quantity demanded will increase or decrease, right? You're with me? Okay. Now discuss about these things, right? What is elasticity? In general, I'm not talking about elasticity of price elasticity or income elasticity or any type of elasticity, just elasticity. What is elasticity? Elasticity is change in one economic variable due to a change in another economic variable. That is elasticity. Change in one economic variable due to a change in another economic variable. Now look at here. Price. What is price? Price is an economic variable. What is quantity demanded? Quantity demanded is an economic variable. Question? Okay. So price is one economic variable. Quantity demanded is another economic variable. So instead of one economic variable, we can say quantity demanded. Another economic variable, instead of another economic variable, we can say price. What is now? Change in quantity demanded due to a change in price. Now you can say, well, that's slope, right? That's slope. If we draw a demand curve, and if this is our price, if this is our quantity demanded, you're talking about the slope, right? Okay, there is some difference between the slope and the elasticity, price elasticity of demand. How? For example, if your price is $10, your quantity is 100. For example, if your price is now $8, your quantity demanded is now, for example, 125. What does that mean? If you find out the slope, you can find out, right? Rise over run. What's your rise? Your rise is 2. Obviously it's minus. And what's your run? 25. Now you can find out the slope. This is the slope. Now the problem is that this price is counted as dollar. It is dollar. What about cents? $10 is 1000 cents. $8 is 800 cents, because $1 is 100 cents, right? So if it is 1000 and if this price is 800, what do you think about the slope? The slope changes, right? The slope changes. Now the problem is that your slope is changing because of your price, not because of your quantity demanded. Quantity demanded is still the same, 25. What about the price now? It's now 200 instead of 2. Do you think your slope changes now? Yes, your slope changes. That's the problem with the slope. If your unit changes, that changes your slope. So slope is not a good measure of elasticity. So we need something better. What's the better one? The better one will be price elasticity of demand. What is price elasticity of demand? Price elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Now look at here, we are talking about the percentage. It doesn't matter how your unit changes, it doesn't matter whether it's the dollar, it doesn't matter whether it's the cents, it doesn't matter whether it's gallon, it doesn't matter if it's liter, pound, anything. Your percentage will be the same, right? Your slope changes because of your change in unit. It was dollar, your slope was something else. It's now cents, your slope is something else. But if you try to find out the percentage change, that will be the same, right? That will be the same. So you are not limited to the unit change. Your unit can change anytime, but you will still have the same elasticity. So this is a better measure of elasticity than the slope, and this is called price elasticity of demand. That equals to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Okay, now let's take a numerical example. For example, your price was $10, now it is 8. Your quantity demanded when it was $10, it was for example 100. Now the price, as the price goes down, quantity demanded will go up because of the law of demand. So it's now 125. What is our elasticity? Price elasticity of demand. So you have to first find out the percentage change in price, and your percentage change in quantity demanded. Let's do percentage change in price. So it is $10, now it's $8. So 2 is the difference. 10 is your old value into 100. So it will be, cancel out, 20%. That is percentage change in price. What about percentage change in quantity demanded? 100 to 125. So 25 in the numerator, 100, that the old value 100, so that is 25. Now we can use this formula, right? Price elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded, percentage change in price. So what is our percentage change in quantity demanded? This one, right? 25%. That's our percentage change in quantity demanded. So we can use this one at the numerator. This is 25%. Then percentage change in price. What's our percentage change in price? 20%. So 25% divided by 20%. What do you think? Obviously it's more than 1, right? So it is 1.25. That's your price elasticity of demand, 1.25, right? Okay. Now question is 1.25 elastic or inelastic or something else? Let's find out. Okay. Let's take 5 values: 0.83, 1, 1.25, that's our result, price elasticity of demand, 0, infinity. Okay, when it's 1, when your price elasticity of demand is 1, what does that mean? That means if percentage change in price is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded. So if your price increases by 20%, your quantity demanded is also increasing by 20%. That is called unit elastic. That is called unit elastic. What about this one? What about this one? Okay, let's talk about that one first. 0.83. What does that mean? That means your numerator is lower than your denominator. So if your numerator is lower than your denominator, you will get less than one figure, right? This is called inelastic. That means, for example, if your price changes, if your price increases by 20%, your quantity demanded decreases by less than 20%. That means your price changes more than your quantity changes, right? That is inelastic. So people are less responsive to the price change. Clear? I'm saying it again. If your price changes by 20%, your quantity demanded changes less than 20%. That means people are less responsive to the price change. So they are inelastic. Elasticity means responsiveness, right? So inelastic means they are less responsive to the price change. Okay, clear everyone? What about this one? 1.25. Well, that means your numerator is higher than your denominator. What is in your denominator? Percentage change in price. What is in your numerator? Percentage change in quantity demanded. So when it is more than 1, that means your quantity demanded changes as a percentage, in terms of percentage, more than your changes in the price. So if your price changes by 20%, your quantity demanded changes by more than 20%. So if your price changes by 20%, your quantity demanded changes by maybe 25%, right? Let's see it again. What is that? Your price changes by 20%, your quantity demanded changes by 25%. So your quantity demanded changes more than your price. So that's why this is elastic, more than 1. What does that mean? That means people are more responsive, 5% more responsive to the price change, right? So this is elasticity. This is elastic. People are elastic. People are responsive to the price change. So this is elastic, right? What about this one? Now look at here, 0.83. If it is less than 1, that is inelastic. So 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, 0.01, all of them are inelastic. If you go that way, there will be one point where it will be 0. What does that mean? All of this 0.8, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, all of them are inelastic. So this is the perfectly inelastic. That means people don't care how's the price change. If they are buying 200 units, 200 quantity demanded, they will buy 200 quantity demanded. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? So what does that mean? Price elasticity of demand, right? price elasticity of demand. It's a little out of focus. Okay, price elasticity of demand, that is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price, right? Now your percentage changes, for example 20%. For example, your price changes by 20%, percentage change in price. Your quantity demanded is 0%. People don't give anything to price change, right? People don't care about the price. Price changes by 20%, people are still buying the same thing. So your quantity demanded didn't change, it's 0. When it's 0, what is the answer? 0. Your price elasticity is 0. That is, people are perfectly inelastic. People do not care about the price change at all. So this is perfectly inelastic. What about this one? Now when it is 1, that is unit elastic, 1.25 elastic, 2 elastic, 5 elastic, 100 elastic, 1000 elastic. They are all elastic. Anything above 1 is elastic. So if you go that way, there will be a point. What is the highest point? Infinity. So that will be your perfectly elastic. So if your price changes, if your price is decreasing by 20%, people will buy infinite number of goods, right? Their quantity demanded will increase indefinitely, infinity, right? Okay, now we'll go for the graphs, right? We are economists, we are always talking about the graphs. How can we find out the graphs? Okay, in the last section, do you remember this one? We talked about the slopes. And elasticity, and we said why slope is not elasticity and why price elasticity of demand is a better measure of elasticity than our slope, because our slope changes when there is a change in the unit, but our price elasticity of demand doesn't change according to our unit. It doesn't matter what our unit is, we always get the same percentage. Okay, but still there are some differences. Still there are some similarities between slope and price elasticity of demand. What is that? Graphical point of view, the flatter the graph, or flatter the curve, we should say it curve, the flatter the curve, the elastic the demand. The flatter the curve, the elastic the demand. So in other way, the steeper the curve, the inelastic the demand. Okay, clear everyone? Okay, let's draw some graphs and I will give you how it is related with our points here, right? 0.83, 1.25, 0, infinity. How we can graph these things.